Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jason Jensen and you're watching Jason Jensen Trains. I'm taking just a quick break from the harbor just so that I don't get burned out working on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut some more styrofoam for this section over here so that it's at the same height as this, just over here. I am building this layout in sections so that someday if I move, I can easily take this out of my basement and relocate it somewhere else. So, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a line, a crack right here. So, this section is 3 feet wide by 4 feet this way. So this section can be slid out, tipped up on its side, and carried out the door, up the stairs, and moved to a different location. So no section is wider than 3 feet, and then no taller than 2.5 feet to be able to get it through the door. Okay, so the length isn't too big of concern. Probably my longest length on here will be maybe a 6-foot section. So 6 foot long by 3 feet wide by no taller than from the bottom to say the tallest building here. I don't know what this is. I don't have my tape measure handy, but it can't be more than 2.5 feet tall. So for this section here, because I want to go taller, this section here will start and be, it can't be any taller than 2.5 feet up from this point. So this, area that sits on here will be removable. And then if you want to go taller, after your 2.5 feet, if you want to add to it, then that has to be removable. Hopefully that makes sense. So today what we're going to work on is adding more styrofoam so that I can get all of my track laid in this section. So what I've done is I've taken newsprint and cut it into strips. And you can take newspaper, magazine pages, whatever scrap paper you have, and just cut it into strips to make your pattern. So then I just went around the edge of where I want my water to be, and I tape them all together. That way I can just lift this off, lay it onto my styrofoam, trace it, and then cut it out with my jigsaw. So as you can see, I've taken my pattern, I laid it onto my styrofoam, took a black Sharpie and outlined it. Next I will take my jigsaw and cut it out. Well, as you can see, I have all of my styrofoam cut and in place. And I glued it all down using liquid nails. For those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, here is the track plan so far. So the red track will be on this level of styrofoam right here. This bridge at this level up here is the green track. So that bridge is right there. And then this loop over here is a subway. And the subway will be visible on this side over here. and then it'll just loop inside the closet and go back. So there's basically 3 dog boned loops on 3 separate levels. They won't connect. It's 3 separate levels. And possibly over in that corner, I might even do a fourth level. Not sure yet. So, but it's exciting. I'm placing some bridges where I think they're going to go. I'm not sure on the height yet of this, but if you saw in my previous update video, I had all structures here stacked on styrofoam, and I talked about doing another loop up here, and that would go across here. So I won't know the height of this until I get this built up and figure out this over here. I also want to cover the front of this again. Some of it will be covered in stone like I did on this wall here, but then some of it will be covered in possibly just concrete, some maybe just wood. I want to do a variation, and I'm pretty excited about this area back here. There are, this is a double track bridge, and then I'd like to put some type of big mill back here, maybe a water wheel, maybe 2 big drain pipes that with water draining out into the harbor here. So lots of possibilities here. And the track on this level will go uphill gradually so that it's a little higher once it reaches that side, because my subway will be visible. So the track for the subway will be at this level where the water is on this side. So I want to be up maybe 5 inches above it, maybe 6 inches, I don't know yet. So, but I definitely want this to go uphill so that it goes over it, because I'd like to do a full detailed subway where I actually have the stairs going down into the subway, and I will fully light it. That'll be a very neat but very time-consuming project. All right, well, hey, let's head over to the workbench and I'll show you what I've been doing over there. And it's a structure that is going to go right here. Originally, I had a Foss scale model here. I forget the name of it, but I decided to move that and put that up here. And I'm doing another building that I'm pretty excited about that's going to sit right here. So let's go take a look at it. So here is the newest kit that I've been working on. I've definitely made some changes to it. So I took the front, none of the figures are glued in place yet, so but I took the front of the building off. Sorry. I took the front of the building off and simply moved it over here. So this area here, the front, the lower part, was meant to be in front here. This storefront I added, I'm thinking of making this a seafood restaurant. And then I just added a door up top and put a deck on there and some railing, and then made my water tower. And the water tower is made from a sewing spool, a spool of thread. Well, I first covered the spool with strip wood. Then I put the bands around it using brown construction paper. The railings are from tichytraingroup.com. Next, I'm going to add some more pilings to the front here, and then add my rope around it and add my barnacles. On the bottom here, I cut out a section so that when I light this, if I light it, I'm still on the fence about lighting, just not sure yet, but if I do, the light will go all the way through here. And then I'll have to drill a hole for the light to the wiring to go up through there. So, but this up here is all built using strip wood from Northeastern Scale Lumber, and the ladders are all from Tichytrain. And then the railings are also from Tichytrain. So this is what they look like. I think you get 4 of these in a pack. And so you can see the posts with the little round tops. And then you get a certain length of railing. So there's railings and stairs if you want. And let's see if I have a pack of the straight railings. You get 3 in a pack, sorry. But that's what it looks like. Okay, so I'll finish this up, and then we'll take it over to the layout. I'll drill my holes into some of my plaster rocks, slide this down, and place my structure on it. So I just finished gluing on the pilings, and I wanted to quick show you, especially on this one over here. Notice, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but they're crooked. Both of them. The tall one in the back is crooked, and then I purposely put the smaller one at a slant. I don't want them all to be perfectly straight up and down, because I think it makes it look more unique when some of them are at a little bit of a slant. Same with all of these back here. Now I'm going to take this over to the layout, and I'm going to mark which ones are in the rocks and which ones are in the water, so that I know which ones to glue barnacles to. And then, if you saw in my last video, I'm just going to take the Eileen's tacky glue and brush on the pilings that I want the barnacles on, and then sprinkle on all of the ballast. So it is a little harder since they're all on here, but you keep turning it, and as long as you're holding it over your tray, I use this tray and just sprinkle it over it, and it turns out. The first thing I have to do, though, is wrap some rope around these pilings. I'll do that, and then I'll add my barnacles. Okay, we are back over at the layout and we're going to install this pier. I feel like I've been making so many piers and doing sort of the same thing over and over, but we're getting close to having this done. So again, it's just like I showed in a previous video. We're going to mark our holes and then drill them using a Dremel tool. So just like before, it keeps getting lower and lower. You start with the tallest rock, drill your first hole and put it in place, and just continue marking your holes until all of them are drilled. Okay, so all of the holes are drilled. I still have to drill a hole in the top here for wiring to light this. But it can just be lifted out and done over at the workbench and put back in. And then yes, everything will be glued in place permanently. Okay, and then once it's all glued in, all of my piers, I'll texture my water. So, but still a ways off from that, because I have to have all of my boats, excuse me, completely painted and detailed, and all of the piers with the barnacles put on them, all in place. So the water texturing will be the last step. So here it is, finished and in place. hope you enjoyed today's video. Well, as you can see, I am still rearranging buildings. Again, I'll show you the track plans so far. So the green track, it crosses right here on that corner, and that is where this wood trestle is. So it'll go across there and then curve and possibly go across these two, then circle, go in between these buildings here, behind and out in front of these buildings right here, and then back across that wood trestle again. So still rearranging, and I may even, instead of buildings in the back, I may do cliffs. I would still like to incorporate a lighthouse up on the top. So this may turn into cliffs along here. I'm not sure yet. So, but just having a lot of fun rearranging and planning things. So I also wanted to let all of you know that I found this incredible YouTube channel. It's called It's My Railroad, and the guy that does the YouTube channel is called Steve Brown. He just has so much passion and energy for this hobby, and I feel like I'm kind of late to the party because I just discovered it, and he has tons of videos. So be sure to check that out. It's called It's My Railroad. Again, now this stuff will have to be removed, and I'm hoping to get some track laid very soon. I don't know if I'm going to completely finish my harbor first before I lay any track. We'll just see how it goes. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy modeling everyone.